Hey, the friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. Well, here it is. We are starting Volume 4 today. And so I thought I would celebrate and come out here and come to the great outdoors and see if we could record a little bit out here today. And the winds, just as I start, the winds picked up. So I don't know if you'll be able to get a good audio out of this or not. But I'm excited. I started podcasting daily devotionals in the Psalms 12 years ago in 2013. And so this is now, we're starting the fourth go through of the Psalms. I hope that you'll join us for all of it from Psalm 1:1 to Psalm 150 verse 6. And today we're going to kick off with Psalm 1:1 and just a regular routine that we always do with Daily Dose Radio. We're going to be involved in studying the psalm, looking at the introduction to each psalm, looking at it verse by verse, because, you know, that's what we do here on Daily Dose Radio. It's 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the psalms verse by verse. And so we're going to run right into that again. And today, verse 1 in Psalm 1, and, you know, you could probably read the whole psalm in one sitting, but there's just so many things that are wonderful in each of these psalms. So it's important to look at everything verse by verse. And the Psalms themselves, as a book in the Bible, is so many things. It is poetic. It is prophetic. It's practical. It is wisdom. You could say some of it is a part of wisdom literature. It is historical. And it's ultimately one of the most devotional books in the entire Old Testament. And so it's wonderful. It's a great thing to study, when we're talking about studying for our devotional life. And today, boy, kicks that off in a big way. Psalm 1, I mean, how do you get any more devotional than this? The Psalms is not afraid to examine the righteous man's actions. He's not afraid to examine the wicked man's actions and look at both of them. And we get a wonderful definition of the wicked in Psalms 9 and 10, a definition which we build on throughout the remainder of the Psalms, and not only build on by adding to it, but also reinforcing the thing that we were studying in 9 and 10. Those ideas remain and come back again and again throughout the psalm. The Psalms, as I said, is prophetic, and Messiah shows up all throughout the Psalms. The Psalms is one of the most foundational Old Testament books that is quoted in the New Testament. So we have a lot there about Messiah, and the disciples, the apostles themselves quoted and laid a foundation for the church in the Psalter, using the prophecies of David in the Psalter to teach us about Christ, His coming, His resurrection, His crucifixion, His life, His ministry, and who He is. So we come today to verse 1 in Psalm 1, the very first psalm, and let me just read that for us. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Okay, that's verse 1. Now, this psalm does not have an introduction, so we would call this psalm an orphanic psalm, which means it's not attributed to any author. It doesn't say it's of David. It doesn't say it's of Solomon or Moses or Asaph or any of those guys. So we call it orphanic. That is, no author is attributed to it. And it doesn't have any sort of historical background attached in the introduction. There's no musical notation in the introduction. And we find all of those things in some introductions to the Psalms. Sometimes we find all of them. Sometimes we find one or two of them. But this psalm doesn't have either one. So this just says, blessed is the man. So there's a man that we're going to talk about, and this man is blessed. And what is it that makes him blessed? Well, you'll notice the three things that are given to us. He walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Now, you'll notice that we have positions mentioned here, walking, standing, and sitting. But this is so much more than physical, your physical posture or where you might be. Because, it's not possible for any one of us who are believers not to walk with the ungodly. We don't know who they are necessarily. And so we may, find ourselves walking with the ungodly at different times. We might find ourselves standing in the way of sinners. We don't know that, but they may be there. It's just not possible for us to completely separate ourselves from them. Nor is it possible for us not to sit with the scornful. The thing about it is, here in Psalm 1:1, is the blessed man, he doesn't walk in the counsel of the ungodly. He does not stand in the way of sinners. He doesn't sit in the seat of the scornful. So his way is different than the ungodly, the sinner, and the scornful. He's not doing those things. He's not traveling that road. He's not asking them for advice. He's not dwelling and meditating on things that they have for him. No, this man is different, and he's blessed because of it. Blessed is the man that does not do these things. He doesn't walk in the counsel, he does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly. Think of a Judean king such as maybe Ahaz, who walked in the counsel of the house of Ahab, and it was a bad thing for him and for all of his house. Well, that's the same idea here, is that the Christian man does not walk in the counsel of those who are ungodly. Why would he, anyway? Because the ungodly are not going to provide him with anything, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of the scornful. So he's not fellowshipping with them. All right, so that's verse 1, and if you come back tomorrow, we're going to look at verse 2, and we're going to talk about what he does do. So we've got what he doesn't do. Now we're going to talk about, in verse 2, what he does do. So come back tomorrow. Join me then here on Daily Dose Radio.